This is it. Time for you to go to the white.
Prince's career was as much a lesson in musical autonomy as it was in brilliance. His refusal to conform, both musically and personally, led to some of the most groundbreaking and genre-defying music in modern history. Yet, despite his towering achievements, there remained a reluctance to credit specific influences or name favorites when it came to guitarists, a reticence that extended to much of his artistic identity. This reluctance, however, was not necessarily out of ego, but rather a reflection of Prince's belief in self-reliance and originality. Nevertheless, a few figures loomed large enough in his musical world that even he couldn't avoid acknowledging their impact. Jimi Hendrix was one such figure, though Prince often bristled at the comparison.
Hendrix was very good, but there'll never be another one like him, and it would be a pity to try. I strive for originality in my work, and hopefully it'll be perceived that way.
All along the watchtower, Prince was kept a view.
The parallels between them, both virtuosos, both African-American artists who reshaped the expectations of guitar playing in their respective eras, seemed natural. Yet Prince was quick to dismiss any attempts to align their musical styles, once stating, "Hendrix played more blues, Santana played prettier." This succinct statement reveals Prince's own preferences as a guitarist, where melody and beauty took precedence over raw expression. Hendrix, for Prince, was very good, but Carlos Santana, with his smooth, Latin-infused phrasing, was a greater influence. Songs like Purple Rain and The Beautiful Ones showcase this preference for melodious solos, their notes lingering and soaring with the same kind of emotional resonance that Santana's best work exhibits. Santana's influence extended beyond just guitar technique. Prince admired his genre-blending ethos, which seamlessly integrated rock, blues, jazz, and Latin rhythms. Like Santana, Prince's music consistently defied categorization, drawing from funk, rock, pop, soul, and even classical music to create a sound that was uniquely his own. In many ways, Santana represented a pathway for Prince's own genre-bending explorations, showing him that there were no boundaries too sacred to be challenged. One of the most fascinating aspects of Prince's musical journey was his love for Joni Mitchell. For an artist whose own songwriting and musicianship often overshadowed his guitar playing, Mitchell's influence on Prince was profound. Her use of open tunings, unconventional song structures, and jazz-inspired chords provided a model for Prince's own experiments with guitar. Her album The Hissing of Summer Lawns was, according to Prince, the last album he truly loved all the way through, and his cover of her song A Case of You is a rare instance where Prince allowed another's work into his discography. Beyond her technical prowess, Mitchell's lyrical honesty and emotional depth resonated deeply with Prince. In a world where male musicians often wrote about relationships from a place of distance or bravado, Mitchell's candidness about love, loss, and personal responsibility left a lasting impression. This vulnerability is echoed in some of Prince's most personal songs, where he, like Mitchell, dared to explore the complexities of human emotion with unflinching honesty. Their mutual admiration was well documented. Mitchell once recounted how a teenage Prince, with his characteristic big eyes and upright collar, attended one of her concerts. His longtime friend and bandmate Sonny Thompson, better known as Sonny T, was perhaps the most important figure in shaping Prince's guitar style. Although primarily a bassist, Sonny's influence extended well beyond the bass. Prince often spoke of Sonny as a musical mentor, saying, "Sonny was my hero. A lot of what I do on guitar, I learned from him." Sonny's virtuosic blend of funk and soul is palpable in Prince's work, particularly in the tight, syncopated rhythms that became one of his signatures. Other funk greats also found their way into Prince's repertoire. Freddie Stone, the guitarist for Sly and the Family Stone, played a pivotal role in shaping the funk guitar language that Prince would later master. Stone's ability to create rhythmic grooves while still allowing space for melodic embellishments laid the groundwork for many of Prince's most famous songs, such as Kiss and 1999. Similarly, Tony Maiden of Rufus, a band fronted by Chaka Khan, offered a model for how guitar could function within a groove-centric band. Prince's admiration for these players speaks to his deep understanding of funk guitar's role, not as a solo instrument, but as a vital part of the rhythmic engine that drives the music forward. Prince's affinity for rock guitarists was not limited to the likes of Santana or Hendrix. The 1970s, a formative decade for Prince, saw a host of rock guitarists rise to prominence, many of whom left an indelible mark on him. Mark Farner of Grand Funk Railroad was one such figure. Known for his commanding stage presence and muscular guitar work, Farner's raw energy can be felt in Prince's more aggressive, rock-oriented performances. Tom Scholz of Boston, meanwhile, influenced Prince's approach to studio production and sound design as much as his guitar playing. Scholz's meticulous attention to detail and his ability to create polished, soaring guitar sounds on Boston's debut album likely resonated with Prince, who was known for being a perfectionist in the studio. One of the more unexpected influences on Prince's guitar playing came from Terry Kath, the original guitarist for Chicago. Kath, a powerhouse player known for his virtuosic solos and improvisational skills, was reportedly one of the few guitarists that Hendrix himself admired. Kath's ability to merge rock, jazz and blues into a cohesive whole was something that Prince undoubtedly appreciated, especially given his own penchant for crossing genre boundaries. The solo on Chicago's 25 or 6-4 was said to be a litmus test for guitarists at Prince's high school, a testament to the technical prowess required to perform it. Despite all these influences, Prince remained fiercely independent, often going out of his way to downplay the role other musicians played in shaping his sound. In interviews, he frequently distanced himself from comparisons, preferring to present his work as entirely self-generated. Yet even in his reluctance, there is an admission. To be the kind of artist Prince was, one had to absorb and learn from the best. Whether it was the emotional directness of Joni Mitchell, the melodic precision of Carlos Santana, or the funk-driven rhythms of Sonny T, Prince internalized their lessons, only to reshape them into something entirely his own. What makes Prince's relationship with these musicians so compelling is the way he synthesized their influences without ever imitating them. His playing was never an attempt to mimic Santana's fluidity or Hendrix's fire. Instead, he took elements of their styles and infused them with his own idiosyncratic flair. It's this ability to integrate and transcend his influences that made Prince not only a great guitarist, but a once-in-a-generation musical visionary. He was, in the end, a product of all the music that came before him, but more importantly, he was a testament to what happens when an artist refuses to be anything other than himself.